Hey y'all, it's your girl Mo, and today we're talking about college. Like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram if you want to hear more content.
How we doing, Mo?
Hey.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey everyone.
Just so everyone knows, Mo has a mirror in front of us
Because
so she can see herself while we're recording.
what's wrong with that?
I mean, it's
I've been needing to see what's going on. I've
Okay.
been having wardrobe malfunctions and you don't be saying nothing. Like, you just let me look
I don't be
busted.
saying anything.
You be letting me look busted.
When have you had wardrobe malfunctions?
Well, I'm not going to say it because now everybody's going to go back and be like, let me go see the episode when, you know.
Oh, this has actually happened on past episodes that you're talking about.
I'm just being dramatic, but it could have, you know what I mean? Like,
I think you're being a little dramatic. Just a little bit, though. It's okay.
okay, I just want to make
But
sure
hey,
I look good. for
You
the
do look
girls.
good. So,
Thank
I mean,
you.
it's paying off, clearly.
Thank you. I'm
You
trying.
know, round of applause for you, kid.
Yay.
Yay!
Go me.
Welcome into the Mike and Mo show, everybody. This is episode 8.
Yeah, but who's counting?
Killing it. We're not counting, of course not. Follow
Yes.
us, please.
Follow us on
Search
Instagram
Yep.
at mike.mo.show. Follow.
And on
This
TikTok.
is like your thing. So-
And you're totally hijacking it
no,
right now.
just do it. Just do it.
No, you're doing
No,
great.
I don't wanna do
Killing
it.
it. Oh. All right. Anyways, follow us on Instagram or on TikTok at mike.mo.show.
Hold on.
What?
Is Nick coming over here?
I think so. Our
Okay.
neighbor might be coming in there.
One of his little friends is crossing the street, about to come up
Yeah,
in here.
he's all
and interrupt.
shirtless and
I
looking
didn't-
sexy.
Yeah, he about to step into the camera with his chest out.
He might be coming in. He might make a guest
And I
appearance.
didn't
think
lock
we
the
should
door
just keep
either.
rolling, though.
Yeah, let's just do
Let's
it.
keep rolling.
Yeah.
Anyways, follow us on Instagram or TikTok at mike.mo.show and search us on YouTube at the Mike and Mo Show.
Yeah. Slide into our
Subscribe.
DMs.
Like,
Yeah.
slide into our DMs, all those things. Check us out. We're pretty cool. We'd like you guys to listen to us talk because we're egotistical maniacs. And
Ew.
now Nick is rubbing his nipples, everyone. So
Right in the front window.
I wish we had that on camera.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's a handsome man, though, so it's
We
okay.
can ask him to do it again once he gets inside.
Hey,
Just kidding.
Get on camera.
But
Just to
shout
rub his
out to
nipples.
Nick because
Yes.
he took a lot of the photos that you guys saw, the good ones. Like, go back on our Instagram and look at the good ones because the other ones were like on
Yeah.
our phones. But yeah, no, the good photos, our buddy Nick took them. And so shout out to him.
Nick Valentine Photography. He's a
Yes.
phenomenal up and coming
Yes.
artist.
Yes.
Great man.
Yeah.
Tremendous man.
He's very humble.
Yeah. So what are we actually talking about today? What's
Oh,
our
yeah,
topic?
yeah. Today we're talking about college and our experiences. Did you go? Did you not go?
Man, I love college. Hey.
Is that a song?
What? You don't know I love college? Girl.
Who
I
sings
love
it?
college. Hey.
Who sings
I
it?
love drinking.
Who sings it?
I don't remember.
Sings it,
I
so
don't
You
remember.
know it's trash.
But
if
it's
you
so-
can't even
Bruh,
no.
that is such an iconic song. Well, I keep forgetting you didn't go to real college, so this kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
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 All
So
right.
anyway, we're talking about college. And so just to get into it, for those of you who don't know, I went to the Coast Guard Academy, which is a 4-year institution in New London, Connecticut. It's kind of like West Point, the Air Force Academy, or like the Naval Academy, but it's for the Coast Guard. Shout out to them. Go Bears.
Go Bears.
And yeah, that's why I didn't really have a college experience because it was like a military school. Like, you know, you have to like, I don't know, you have to tell people when you're taking a nap. You have to have your door open. You have to wear a uniform all the time. You have to like you're forced to do sports and extracurricular activities and stuff like that. So yeah, you're
just to
yeah.
clarify, Mo did actually go to college. It's just a
Yes.
thing in the
He
military.
keeps saying I didn't go to college. I'm like, sir, okay.
It's a running joke in the military for people who
Is
went
it?
to. Yes, of course it is. We all make fun of you, academy people, for not going to real college. Maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe not to
But
your
I thought
face.
the joke you're saying was like they didn't go to college at all. I'm like,
No,
if
no,
anything,
no.
our college experience, we were taking like hella credits, way
Yeah,
more than
but
like
that's
the
why it's
regular.
funny.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
no.
I got you.
All right, so people like Mo who went to academies, right? Like the
Yes.
Coast Guard Academy, the Naval Academy, all that stuff. Their college experience was really hard. Like it was no joke. It was
Trash.
legit. Like she said, you couldn't even take a nap without it being on a schedule and getting approved, which is
Stupid,
not fun.
but it's okay.
The rest of us mere mortals who went to real college, you know, we got to party, we got to like actually do college people things.
Yeah, you got to leave campus whenever you wanted.
Well, sort of. We had some roles in ROTC.
Oh, really? In
yeah.
ROTC.
But like
Okay.
OCS people, yeah, they just went to normal college.
Yeah.
So anyways, the joke in the military is that people went to academy, went to fake college because they didn't do any of like, the Thursday girls night, like staying up till 4 a.m. and skipping all your classes the next
Nah.
day. That wasn't an option
If you
for
was up
them.
at 4 a.m., you was studying, and there was no way you could skip class because, like, I've never heard of any. Like, you just can't.
Yeah. Basically,
Yeah, that's
they're
why.
nerds and
Yeah.
didn't have any fun in college.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Just kidding. But that's kind of why
Yeah,
that's why I say that.
yeah. Tell the girls where you went. We already know where you went, but just
I
for
went to the Ohio State University. As you can see by our beautiful pennant behind our faces, it's almost as beautiful as our faces.
Yay!
Yay!
But yeah. So how did you decide that you wanted to go there?
Okay, so like background and
Let's run it back. Like that.
wait.
Hey.
right.
So high school. Boom.
High school.
Let's
Boom.
start from there. High school.
Yep.
Did you want to go to college? Did you know you wanted to? Did your parents force you to?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
What's that?
so both my parents went to college. Came from a college-fearing household, like a God-fearing household.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
Like from a young age, I always knew I was going to go to college. It wasn't really like,
No,
it's not like my parents ever were like, you're going to go to college or else, but it was never
You
even
just-
considered as an option
Yeah,
not
like,
to go
why
to college.
not? Why would you
Right.
not? Yeah.
Nor did I ever not want to go to college,
Yeah.
though. I mean, I always wanted to from the time I ever started thinking about it from a young age. So
Yeah.
that's just the way I was raised. And I realize now that's not normal. Some people don't come from a household where their parents went to college or, they are more, I don't know, inclined to do like a trade school or something rather than a 4-year
Yeah.
university. Like school's not for everybody. School's hard and it sucks and I hate it, honestly. But I still did pretty good at it. And again, I was just always told
You did pretty good, or you did pretty well.
Clearly, I didn't
We're
do
gonna
that
send them back.
well.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm that friend that's always like, "Did you do good or did you do well?"
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm a nerd, like he said.
Yep.
But yeah.
But anywho, I knew pretty much from day one I was going to college. I remember
Mm-hmm.
like starting to think about it seriously, probably like freshman or sophomore year of high school.
Mm.
We went on a family vacation down to Texas, and I saw Texas A&M University.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that was the first school where I was like, "This is sick! I want to go here." But I had no idea what I was talking about because I had never been to any other universities
Yeah,
at that point.
that's true.
So I just thought it was cool.
Did you
But-
go on any like college tours?
Oh yeah, a bunch. I
like
actually,
that?
I'm like, I don't know if I'm abnormal because I feel like I am now. Like the more people I talk to, I applied to like 25 schools.
I think I applied to like 15 or something. I didn't
you?
apply to that many because that's the thing. You had to pay for that shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I had like a little waiver.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Where, I had a waiver where like you can probably apply to like a handful maybe for free or like a discounted rate. So I did that, but I didn't like, I didn't like just waste it though. I was like, okay, like if I'm going to get like 5 applications for free, I want to like definitely go to these ones. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's still a lot. 15.
I think so.
I mean, I
maybe
know,
not.
like-
Maybe like 10. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of my friends from high school only applied to 3, 4, or 5, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, well, why'd you apply to so many? Did you
I-
not think you were gonna get in, or like you just were like, "Fuck it, I just want to throw"?
No, I got into every school I applied to
So then, why'd you apply to so many?
because I'm indecisive as hell.
Yeah, okay. See, I knew exactly where I wanted to go because I did a few college
Yeah.
tours too. So I was like, okay, I want to go to like Townsend, maybe Rutgers, like you know what I mean, stuff like that. Like University of Maryland was like my number one choice, like. And I always used to say, like, people would be like, what's your number one? And they would think I would say, like, the Coast Guard Academy. But the Coast Guard Academy really isn't an option. Like, you don't really choose
Yeah.
the academy. They choose you. So it wasn't like, you know what I mean? There was
Yeah,
no
right.
guarantee that I was going to get to go there. But with University of
Yeah,
Maryland,
because if you're telling people like the academy is my number one choice, that's kind of
like,
cocky.
yeah, like, okay, well, you're assuming that you've already been selected,
Right.
you know?
Which is not
Versus,
easy.
like, University of Maryland, like, I knew I was going to get in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get into every other regular college, but it was expensive. That shit was like $43,000, I think, a year for out of state.
Yeah.
I remember looking at that and I was like, huh, that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. Are there any good state schools in New Jersey? I know isn't like some of the
What do you
Ivy
mean
Leagues
by
in there?
good?
I don't know. Like, I don't think I've. Wait, is Rutgers in New Jersey?
Yeah,
Rutgers is?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of the
That's a
girls go
state
to
school, right?
Rutgers. Yeah. Wait.
Is it or is it private? No,
No. It's a state school. I'm pretty sure.
Public.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I really
I don't really
know
know either. Cause
But
like,
I mean, like, your neck of the woods is like where all the Ivy Leagues and stuff. Like the Northeast is known for all like the fancy dancy private schools,
Yeah. Did you apply to any of those or no?
Nah.
Yeah. No,
The
me
hardest
neither.
school I applied to, I think, was like maybe Case Western.
What's that?
I don't
Where's
even
that
know.
at?
Actually, Ohio State is probably the hardest school I applied to be honest. But Ohio State is getting like pretty prestigious and
So
restrictive.
did you apply for Ohio State first? Because didn't you go somewhere else first and then
I
you went to
did.
Ohio State?
Yeah.
So did you apply to Ohio State off the rip?
Yeah.
Or-
So I applied to like my junior or summer going into senior year of high school, I started applying. Mm-hmm. And applied, like I said, to like probably, okay, actually, now that I'm thinking about this, the real reason why I applied to so many schools is because originally I just wanted to go be a normal college student somewhere.
Yeah.
I'd thought about doing ROTC and the military stuff, but then my senior year of high school, I did really well in football. So I had some recruiting interest from smaller schools.
Right.
So I had already applied to like maybe 10 or 15 normal schools that I wanted to go to. But then I probably applied to another 10 or so small schools that wanted me for football. So that's why I
okay.
applied to so many now that I think about it.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all
And
coming
then
back.
I ended up playing football. I went to a smaller school, John Carroll University. Shout out to the Blue Streaks in Cleveland. But I only did that for a year, and then I transferred.
So why did you choose that school? Because of the team? Because of the distance? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was distance a big thing? What were like your
motivating
big
factors
things?
for choosing a school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Distance was not. That was actually a negative because I wanted to get far away.
Really?
Yeah,
You're
when
one
I
of
was
those
growing
kids?
up, I applied to Coastal Carolina University.
Yeah,
I
that's
applied.
kinda
I think
fun.
I did end up applying to Texas A&M, but I always wanted to like leave and
Really?
like get out of
Why?
because I was not. Me and my parents butt heads a lot in high school, so I just wanted to peace.
Yeah.
But that did not happen. I went to a school that was like 45 minutes away.
Dang, it was 45? Wait,
it was
the
close.
Blue Streak school
Blue Streak
or the,
school.
okay, Red
Yeah.
Scarlet?
No, Red Scarlet? Oh my
Sorry.
God. I'm never taking you to a game. I rescind my invite.
It's fine. I know why you really did that, but we'll talk
do
about
you
that
mean?
later. Because you want to take Miss Mama's instead.
Oh.
You just wait for the opportunity to be like, nah, I can't take you no more.
So you were waiting for me to do that.
Oh, because I expect you to do that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Wow.
that type
You
of
expect
guy.
the worst of me.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Excuse me. All right, now you're coming no matter what. Come hell or high
No, I'm
water.
just kidding.
Come hell or high water.
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway,
I feel like
play
we're
too
getting
much.
really off topic.
and I feel like I'm yelling too. Sorry, you're gonna
We're
have to
yelling a
definitely
lot.
edit the audio on this because I'm hollering.
Yeah, we hollering out
But
here.
we're having a good time. But yeah, okay. So like, distance was your main thing at first.
It wasn't
like,
a main thing. Yeah, it was just a
okay.
contributing factor. The main
Okay.
reason why I chose that school was good academics / major that I wanted.
Which was what? What major?
Business at the time. They had
Okay.
a really good business finance and accounting program. Then the football program was good. I liked
Mm-hmm.
the coaches. And then I think just like the vibe, like the atmosphere
Okay.
of the university, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like high school kids like to be cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that matters. And it was like a cool campus, seemed like cool people.
How big was it? Was it like a huge?
Small.
Over like how
Yeah,
small?
Like 3,000 kids,
That's still not bad.
4,000.
Because you know at the academy,
Okay.
there's not. That's what I'm saying. Every time
No.
you say like small, I'm like, bro, but like
Okay.
my small and your small are too big. Like,
But
different
like
things.
the Coast Guard Academy is a small school, you have to admit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why when you said small, I was like, oh, like 1,000. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, no.
No, like in it, because what the Coast Guard's what, like 2,000?
Like 1,000.
It's like 1,000?
Yeah. Somebody DM me because every time people ask questions about the academy, I be fucking it up.
That's like
'Cause,
smaller
like-
than my high school.
Cause like if 300 times 4, that's 12. Yeah. You know, like probably around 1,200, let's say 15 maybe. But then, you know, people be getting kicked out like it ain't nothing. People drop out during like, you know, our
Yeah.
little swap summer boot camp type of thing. We do like this physical fitness part kind of where you're like in boot camp for the summer and people like drop out of that. So between getting kicked out, dropped out or failing out. Yeah. We have like, we went from like 299 people in my class to like 240 or something at graduation
Wow.
maybe. So yeah, our school was small, long story
Yeah,
short.
very small.
Yeah. But
Damn.
anyway, okay.
Yeah,
But
so-
you want to go to a smaller school or?
No, well, I
You didn't
did
care.
once I like started getting recruited by football
Okay.
coaches, you know, because obviously I wasn't good enough to play at like a big Ohio State type of school. So my
Yeah.
only options were small schools.
Okay.
But all high school up to that point, I wanted to go to a bigger school. So obviously, eventually that first year at John Carroll, I realized I wanted bigger and better. So that's when I transferred to Ohio State.
Wait, did you transfer your first year?
After my first year. So I did a full year at John Carroll.
Okay. Did
Yeah.
it count?
Yeah, it counted. Like
Okay,
all the
good.
credits transferred.
Okay, good.
But
That's what matters.
I mean, not really though, because none of my like GPA transferred. I had like a 3.9 GPA my freshman year.
Yeah.
Crushed it out of the park.
Good job.
That did not transfer, which is really
Dang.
annoying.
So
Yeah.
what was the point of that?
I don't know.
They be wasting your time and money.
Yeah, it kinda
See, that's
sucks.
what I'm talking about. But speaking of money, though, was money a factor for you or your parents, or like did you
No,
let them consider that?
Again, I was very fortunate. My dad was an Army veteran, so he had the GI Bill.
Oh,
So
you
my
used
parents
that?
had that, and then they saved up enough money. So between me and my sister, they knew they had enough to cover like both of our school.
Mm-hmm.
So they told me explicitly, outright, they're like, "Don't let money be a factor." Which, looking back on it now, and we're gonna get into this,
Yeah.
terrible way to parent, in my opinion. Like they never told me to factor money into
Yeah.
my decision for school, which like
to at least consider it,
Right, which
don't
is
let
so,
it,
like-
hold you back, but don't.
it's reckless though,
Yeah, a
because
little bit.
especially now you have like 22, 23 year olds coming out of college with 6 figures in
Broke.
debt. And it's like, how the hell can you actually get ahead in life
Yeah.
when you have that much
Yeah.
debt right off the rip?
Yeah. Well, I guess they assume that since you were using maybe your dad's GI Bill or whatever, then like don't worry about it. But
Well, no, we didn't have to worry about it because they had enough money
Right.
to cover it. But I'm just saying, like, and my parents are great. I'm not dissing on you, mom and dad. If you're listening right now, I love you. Thank you so
We
much for
love
everything that
you.
you gave me. I appreciate you. But they like never really instilled in me like the concept of like, hey, you're gonna have to pay for this shit down the road someday. Even though I wasn't going to have to, but like I wish that like lesson would have been. I would have appreciated college a lot more had I think been instilled with the understanding of this is a really expensive thing that you're about to do.
okay.
You know what I mean?
So you were just kind of like, all the girls go to college. Like we just
Yeah.
it just happens, you know,
Right.
like it
And I was
costs
an
money.
idiot,
Like,
and I was
sure.
lazy.
Okay.
Like I skip class all the time, right? Like
In college?
yeah, of course,
No, ma'am.
everybody does.
No, this is why I did not want to go to a regular college. Like, I'm not that type of chick. I didn't want to go to a regular college because, like, and if I did, I wanted to go do ROTC. But I just love structure. I love discipline. I don't like bullshit. I party sometimes. Like, you know, fuck. Mike, you know me. Like, I don't, like, literally last night, he went out with some friends and I'm, like, in the house reading a book. Like, I don't really want to party. I don't want to drink.
Yeah.
I don't want to skip class. Like, because maybe just because of how I grew up, I understood, like, you don't bullshit because that's time, that's effort that either you yourself, or, like, you're wasting, or other people's time and effort that other, like, you know, you're wasting or something. So yeah, but that's just me. I think it's just different personalities too. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like I have OCD and I'm like all like, you know, uptight and shit. So
what were I get you kind of touched on some of them, but what were like your motivating factors for going to the Coast Guard Academy? How were you raised to view college? Like what was your coming to college experience?
yeah. So neither of my parents went to college. I think my mom may have done some like credits at a local college. I don't know. Shout out to them. Sorry if I like forgot, but shout out to y'all. But they were definitely like, you know, hardworking people though. So that's what I saw, like, you know what I mean? But they still wanted me and my sister to still go to college. Like, and my sister, she's older. So I think that does make a difference. Like you're the oldest.
Yeah.
You know, you have a younger sister and then I'm the youngest. I have an older sister. So I saw my sister, you know, she had a job in high school and she got some scholarships from that. She got some scholarships through church and stuff. And then, you know what I mean? Like she was pretty aware that, not that my parents expected her to pay for college at all, but, you know, do your part as the child, you're the student. So, you know, get good grades and focus so that way you can get those scholarships to help your parents out. Like, don't just assume your parents are going to pay for everything. That's kind of like messed up. You know what I mean? Like, don't just assume that.
Yeah.
But if you don't know,
but did they tell you that though? Because like again, like my parents
feel like
told
they
me
might have.
explicitly, do not worry about
it.
money
We got
when
the bill.
deciding college.
Yeah.
So did your parents tell you that, or was it implied, or were they like, you should go to college?
That's the thing. I don't know. Like, I don't know what they told my sister, but because I saw what she did, and I even focused more in school than her, like I was like the extra nerd. Like my sister did well, but I like, you know, was just nerdy and stuff. I just felt like, yeah, I have to carry my weight, you know, I have to contribute in some way. And that's not why I went to the Coast Guard Academy. Cause like for those of you who don't know, like it's free. Ooh, It's free. And you get paid to be there.
Thank you, taxpayers.
Yeah. But like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm only there because it's a free institution. Like, you know what I mean? That cannot be your motivating factor, or else you will fail out or get kicked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just grew up knowing like I want something, and yeah, it's gonna cost money. Like I said, like the fact that I knew that University of Maryland costs like $43,000 a year for out of state students, like I was very much aware, and I'm like, somebody has to pay for that. Most likely my parents, but that's a lot of money. Like that's so much money. Like, can you imagine?
No,
that's trash.
No.
Yeah. So that was just my understanding of it. But they never pressured me. You know what I mean? They never, were like, you have to go to the academy because it's free. Like they were like, oh, that'd be nice. You know what I mean? Like if that's the place where you want to go and you can get in, that's just a bonus. But yeah, but they also weren't like, you have to get a job in high school either. I don't know. I don't know how they did it, but I just felt very comfortable. I think of who I am, just a driven person. I think I naturally just wanted to help and contribute. And then the way they raised us, I guess they were just kind of like, they made us aware, but they never like stressed us out about it and stuff like that. I don't know. Whatever they did was good. And I'm hoping to do that with my children someday. You know what I mean? Just,
there you go.
Yeah. Don't stress them out, but don't
yeah. Obviously it worked out.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
It worked out with you too, though.
Like, it did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you literally can have this conversation with your kids later on and be like, yo, I got the money because I'm sure you're going to be balling.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Because you always got your hands moving and everything.
That's the goal.
And you also have your GI Bill too. That's an option. You know what I mean? So like, how do you feel like you're going to have this conversation with your kids? Or are you going to have it at all? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely think I'll teach and I don't know. I think I'll handle it differently than my parents handled it. But you're right. Like it all worked out.
But in what way do you think you'll handle it differently?
Yeah. So I think the key is, and this is kind of projecting a little bit, right? Because my kids aren't going to be of college age for another 20 or 30 years. Like I ain't got no kids right now. So like minimum 20 years, probably more like 30 years.
Yeah.
So college could look a lot different by then. But
that's true.
On its current trajectory, higher education is a total racket. Like it is so expensive and it's only getting more expensive.
So do you want them to go to school?
I want them to go to school if they find a way to get it at least substantially, if not entirely paid for.
Even if you can afford it or you provide your GI Bill, you're still like, you need to.
I don't know, man. I'm sure it'll be different when I have kids and I'm like, oh, I love you. I want you to have the best.
Face. Yeah.
But like there are alternative options to college that I never knew about that could end up putting you in just as good a financial position.
Like what?
Well, I mean, going to a trade school, right? Like being in any kind of trade, if you have some sort of like business acumen and you know how to grow a business, you don't need the things that you learn in, your like Econ 101 class when you're like, a chemistry major or something like that. All those elective classes that you have to take that is like a third of your actual degree that are bullshit and the college just makes you take because they want to get more money from you.
Yeah.
All that stuff is a waste of time and money.
So do you regret? I keep asking all these questions, so just keep track of where the conversation's going. But like, I don't know, like we had to take I had to calculus and physics and chemistry and stuff like that. And it was annoying, but looking back, I don't know, it just feels good that I took them, that I knew I was smart enough. Yes, I was a government major. Like I just wanted to focus more on history. But like looking back, I'm like, I'm grateful for the experiences. I'm grateful that I was forced to take the class. Some of them were kind of tough, but like, I don't know, it made me feel smart getting through it and doing well.
Sure.
But
and
that's a lot of money just to be like, oh, you feel good about yourself.
But that's the thing, right? All college is like a social structure that we've come up with. Like you feel like you're smarter, but you would be just as smart if you didn't go to college and you just started working and like, going to the University of Life.
That's true.
Life is a tough teacher too. Like you got to go through a lot of trials and tribulations in the real world, quote unquote, outside of academia. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it clearly you need it for a lot of jobs and professions. And that's something we can talk about too, is like, do you think that people need college? And like, do you think they're going to continue to need it? Because I think we're already close to that threshold of it not being worth it for a lot of people. Granted, like if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be an engineer, there are certain professions where for us, right? Like we couldn't be military officers if we didn't have a college degree. Yeah. But that's like, maybe half the population, probably less, probably significantly less than half of the people that are currently in college getting a degree. So I don't know. Personally, I just think there are a lot of other ways to gain, especially now with the access to information that we have. Like you can learn everything on Reddit and YouTube these days.
Yeah,
literally everything. Like, I mean, with this house, right? Like I've learned how to do so many things to a house that, you know, traditionally you would have to go to like plumbing school or electrical school or something like that.
Yeah, and it takes way longer to, you know, go to class, sit down and, you know, do all the homework where you can just, you know, go on YouTube.
Yep.
Boop, boop.
And then you actually do it.
Yeah.
Instead of
a lot of
taking a test on it.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I'm kind of heated about this topic.
I can tell. It's okay.
But I guess, all right, let's talk about this because this might be a productive way to kind of like tie all this together. What do you feel like college legitimately taught you, and like how did it better you? What do you feel like you learned and pulled from college, and how did it change you and make you better?
That's a good question. And I feel like, again, it's hard because I went to the academy. You know what I mean? So the academy, I think it did a good job of making me into an officer. As an officer, when you think about an officer, like a military officer, like I feel like I said officer like 6 times, but officer. When you think about military officer, you do think about somebody who is educated and kind of has a good grasp of all concepts and different subjects. So like, you know what I mean? Like, you can be able to talk to me about chemistry, physics, calculus, like, you know, a little bit of engineering stuff, like obviously some history, some like political government stuff, like, you know what I mean? So I feel like in that aspect, it did do a good job of like making me well versed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Sure.
And then like the social concept of it, I don't know if it did really well with that though, because again, like I was around people who were kind of like me, like, you know what I mean, very like they're like spitting out like people who are like kind of not the same, but you know what I mean, like just robots, I guess, kind of like little military officers. So I don't know if it did well with that part of it, like, you know what I mean, like. Yeah, I think they tried though. They tried to teach us like morals, and I feel like that's the different thing about the academy that most colleges don't focus on is like having morals, integrity, devotion to duty, respect. Like, but again, it's the military. You know what I mean?
Right.
And obviously, we know some like crazy people who don't have those character traits. So you know what I mean? So like, it doesn't.
Doesn't always take.
Right. Exactly. You know? But I think I did appreciate that though. You know what I mean? Like, cause I could have went to regular college where like people are just disrespectful and don't give a damn. Like, okay, one funny little thing, like, or example is that I would literally walk around the campus or the base and not worry about stepping on a piece of gum because you were not allowed to spit out your gum on the floor. Like that's disrespectful and that's disgusting. Versus at regular college, I went to go visit my sister once and it was like throw up on the ground and then a vibrator that was on right next to it. And I was just like, you would never see that at the academy. So like, you know, again, not a big deal, but just... You know, holding ourselves, they taught you to hold yourself to a different standard kind of. But then that's the thing. When you get back out into the real world, after you leave the academy, are you ready to embrace or interact with other people who didn't go to the academy? You know what I mean?
Well, because the real world isn't structured, right? Like,
it's not.
Life is chaos.
Exactly.
So you got to be able to like adapt and handle chaos, right? And like do things for yourself because you guys are obviously, you know, there's really not that much difference. Like you're obviously an incredibly capable human being, but like you never had to like negotiate an apartment lease, right? Until you got into the real world.
Yeah.
You never had to like worry about going out in town to like do your laundry or get a haircut, right? Because they all had that stuff like for you.
Yeah, everything was there for you pretty much.
Yeah, so it's just like you get like a little bit more real world experience being in like normal college, but at the end of the day, I don't know how much that.
Yeah. There are differences, but you can also figure it. Yeah.
You're obviously a lot more disciplined and there's pros and cons to both for sure.
Yeah, you know.
But in general, you feel like college just made you like a more well-rounded intellect?
Yeah, I would say that.
Even more disciplined than you already were?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. Like the studying habits, I know like some people mention like when we go to like flight school and stuff, like my OCS buddies, they might not have the studying skills or the the discipline, I guess, the studying discipline, if that makes sense, to do well initially versus us. Like we know like, you know, that balance of like, I know how my work ethic needs to be in order to succeed in certain situations versus like maybe if you just came from college and you didn't have to like study as hard. Like I know like going from high school to the academy was way different. In high school I didn't have to study. Like, you know what I mean? I like can barely remember doing homework because I always did it in school after like right after school before I went to work. That's how
Yeah.
easy it was. You know what I mean? But in the academy, I was like, oh shit, like this is not coming as easily to me as it used to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I actually need to take time to study and do hard work and, you know, focus. So I would say like stuff like that though, like it does teach you to have a certain work ethic, unless you're just really smart and you can just slide right through, but that's very rare, you know?
Yeah.
But
Super
like,
geniuses out there.
what did your college experience teach you though?
Yeah.
That you don't feel like you would have gotten if you didn't go?
So as much as I've hated on my college experience, I loved it. Like going to Ohio State was great. I think to your point, you do learn studying skills. Like I learned my capacity for work in terms of like intellectual work, because there were multiple times where I waited until the last minute to write a final paper, and your boy was up literally for 36 hours straight writing a 10-page paper and got an A on it. So
Yeah.
I learned like what my limits were in terms of like how much I could actually grind in a short period of time. Not healthy at all. Would not recommend
But
it.
it's good to know.
Right, but it puts you in a high pressure environment, which is
Yeah,
always good, right?
yeah.
Like competition and anything like that is graded.
Yeah.
You know, we shouldn't be giving out award medals or just, you know, participation medals.
Just
Like
'cause
I
you
believe
showed
in competition, and essentially school is competition,
Yeah.
right? Like you do something, there's parameters that you have to do it within, and then you get graded on it. That's competition. So it's good in that regard for sure. Also, like,
But do you mean competition with yourself or others? Because I know at the academies, it's
Both.
very competitive. But like at regular college, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I could have went to regular college and wouldn't be no sweat, because I feel like 2/3 of the class probably don't give a damn. Like, you know what I mean? Versus like maybe a third are actually grinding and care about their grades. But that's
Sure.
just my assumption of me
Yeah.
not going to regular college.
but I mean,
my
still,
ignorance,
like,
you know?
if you're in regular college, you're still trying to get like internships. You're still comparing your grades with your friends who are in the class with you. You're still graded
Okay.
on a GPA scale that is like
Yeah.
relative to all the other people
Yeah.
who are getting grades in your class,
Yeah.
you know? So you still, I don't know, if you're even somewhat motivated person,
Yeah.
you're competing
I think
with other
I'm
people.
thinking about the college students that I see in movies that are skipping class and don't
Yeah.
care and smoking in the back,
Right.
and they're like cheating.
And there definitely
stuff.
are people like that. But like,
Yeah.
even for all of like my wild moments, for the most part, college was like for work. Like
Good,
you
yeah.
grinded, right? Like it's not easy. And so that is always good. Anything that challenges you is always
Yeah.
productive to your self growth, right? So that was a good piece of college. But I don't know. Again, I feel like real life offers you that as well. So I'm not
That's
sure.
true.
I'm not sure like which is better in that regard. However, the camaraderie, I think, and the community that institutions offer you, particularly like with sports, right? Like I'm a big sports fan, and Ohio State sports are huge. So like being a part of that family is really cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know like how you really put a quantitative value on that,
Yeah.
but it's sweet. And that is really, really valuable, right?
Yeah.
Like to say like I'm a Buckeye and like I went to Ohio State is something like I'm proud of and I'll
Yeah.
be proud of for the rest of my life. And it definitely invokes a certain reaction from people too. Like
Yeah.
people who have no idea who I am that I meet for the first time, or like if I'm wearing an Ohio State
Mm-hmm.
shirt or something, there's like an immediate judgment that comes from that. Sometimes
Yeah.
good, sometimes bad.
Yeah.
But having that, you know, ability to say like I am an alumni, I have a diploma
Yeah.
from this, not diploma. Diploma's high school, right?
No.
Is it college too?
Yeah.
a
A degree.
diploma?
You want to say degree? You can say degree.
But is it diploma? Is diploma high school or is it both?
I feel like it's both. Isn't
it
it just
both?
a piece of paper that says that you paid a lot of money to do something? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyways,
But do
we'll
you
look it
feel
up.
like it's a part of your identity? Because I know, like, I feel the same way about saying, like, I went to the academy. Because, you know, there's, like, sectors. Like, yes, I'm in the overall Coast Guard, which I feel like that also is a part of my identity, like, has a lot of pride. Like, when you see another coaster, you're like, hey, like, you know, Coast Guard, like, you know. Just like when you see another Navy person, you're like,
Right.
you might be like, like that. You know what I mean? So do you feel like that is a part of your, how you identify yourself as a Buckeye?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But I mean, no, like my own human identity, I don't wrap up into titles like that. But
No, but I'm just saying, like, you know.
yeah.
That's,
If I,
I
see
feel like it's a
somebody
good way to
else
say it, though.
who's another
Yeah.
Buckeye,
Yeah.
for sure, it's a bonding thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, I mean, there's that piece of college is obviously something you can't get outside of going to a university.
Yeah.
But
So do you think you want to further your education in terms of college? Like maybe go get a master's?
I think
PhD.
maybe I do, which is kind of funny to say.
Yeah,
after
because you
this
was
whole
getting hot
conversation.
about
I know,
15 minutes ago.
But here's the thing: is I don't want to do that though until I have actually done something of value in the world.
What do you mean?
Like I want to like go build something that provides value to other people and provides value to the world and makes the world a better place. Not sure what that is yet. We're still trying to figure it out, you know, but like we're entrepreneurial. We got a lot of ideas out there.
Yeah.
So once I do that, and once I then have something to say like, hey, I did this. You don't have to like do what I do or think I'm like the shit or anything, but like I was successful at doing this and added value to other people's lives in the world. So now maybe you can listen to me and I'll teach this course. Whereas like people who've been in academia. Yeah.
You want to go to get your master's, or you want to teach?
I would only get my master's or PhD if I was going to be a professor in college. Like that's something I've thought about doing.
Wait, so you want to get your master's degree or PhD to be a professor?
Yeah.
Ah.
Sorry, I probably should have led with that.
Yeah, that was. I was like, wait, you can't be in school and teach the class that you're taking.
Yeah.
I got you though.
No, that's the only reason I think I would go back. I shouldn't say the only because we're young.
One of
Who knows where life is going to take us?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just get a master's or a PhD for the hell of it. But
that changed.
But I think that I would rather not do that unless I wanted to actually pursue a goal of being a professor.
Now, do you want to be a professor? Because you was just talking shit about like colleges and stuff
That's what
like
I'm saying.
that.
I feel like I would be able to make it better.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen, Mike is going places, y'all. In his head is just so many ideas.
Because there's so many professors, right, who are just academics. All they've done their entire lives is be in school.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you haven't actually done anything. All you do is talk about things and like it's all theoretical, and you never actually like tested any of these like highbrow, high-minded kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I probably sound like a babbling fool right now, and like y'all are like, bro, you ain't never gonna be a
and
professor.
They're like with you while you think about your ideas. They're just like, while you think out loud, we're just here.
Yeah,
I like it though. But yeah, I definitely want to like further my education, like get my master's and stuff like that. But that's the thing. I feel like I do certain things because I feel like I should. And I don't know if that's a good thing, but maybe I'm like, you know, drinking the Kool-Aid. I've fallen into the trap, and I'm like, I have to get my master's because that's what's expected of me. You know what I mean?
You also have certain goals that require those things.
That is true.
To open the door to the next step.
Yeah, like if I want to make like 0405, I definitely should get my master's. But that's true. Yeah, but I also just like to learn too. I like being in the school environment, even though I hate it. It's weird. Like I hate that pressure, but I also like, again, it just makes me feel good about myself. Like it's so weird. Like I embrace challenges because it sucks, but I'm like, I know I'm going to get through it. And then I feel so much better afterwards, you know? So yeah, that's just me.
Do you feel like though any of your self-study habits, like you read a lot, you obviously listen to some podcasts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you feel like any of those things educate you as much as formal education does though?
Well, I learned so much about like house hacking, buying a house, like investing and stuff like that, just by like listening to a few podcasts, like Bigger Pockets, or like, listening to an Audible book, like we were talking about a few episodes ago, like stuff like that I never learned in school at all, like ever. So that in that you know way I did, which is annoying though, because I wish like, why couldn't they just, instead of give me like, even in economics, I took economics in high school, well, and in the freaking the academy, why couldn't they have taught that stuff though? You know what I mean? Like the house buying stuff,
how to build wealth.
How to build, like that would have been more productive, I feel like. You know what I mean?
I mean, now you're just talking about like fundamental flaws in our education system. That's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, that's all I'm saying though. Like just making it geared towards something that most people are considering or want to do. You know what I mean? Like, all I remember from my economics class is my instructor. She was like I don't even remember where she was from. She had this accent. She was this little tiny lady. And she would be like, guns and butter, guns and butter. That's
what?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
What accent was that?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It was guns and butter. But yeah.
But what did she teach? Economics?
Economics. And I don't remember what needs versus
wants?
I guess so, maybe. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember. That's the only thing I remember. But I'm sure if they would have taught about how to maybe like, you know, negotiate a lease or buy a house or something, like I probably would have remembered that, you know, so and used it. But yeah, that's just me.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. There's pros and cons to everything. It's The biggest issue I have, like, higher education is obviously great for a million reasons, right? And it's so cool, and especially for a lot of people who are going to college for the first time at 18. It's the first time you're getting out of the house, away from home. You're being your own person to a certain extent. So there's tremendous amount of growth that occurs at our lovely institutions of higher education. But my big issue is just that it's becoming so untenable with the increase. Is that a word? Untenable?
I don't know. I just nodded. I was like,
no, what's the word? Untenable. Untenable?
Look it up.
Unattainable. Anyways, it's not, it can't continue on its current trajectory and keep working. Like, there's just so much debt that is being put on the youth of America because of how expensive college is getting, that it's just not possible to continue down the road that we are with that. So something has to fundamentally change there, I think, for this to keep being actually beneficial for most people, because I think it's starting to get to the point where it is not becoming beneficial for most people. Yeah. I think there is still a small segment of the population where it is, but
but the good is starting to not outweigh the bad. It's starting to it's getting
iffy. Yeah. The boat is filling up with water, man.
It's starting to rock.
We got some leaks.
I had a question though. So last night we were talking about this a little bit. So do you feel like some high schoolers after graduation should take a year off to either explore, to just get a job, to pay for college because since it's so expensive, you know what I mean? You feel like that would be beneficial so that way people can see if they even want to go. Because again, I feel like people nowadays are just I'm done with high school now. I have to just go to college. That's just the thing. That's what all the girls do. So I'm just going to do it. You feel like that would be beneficial if they did something else and had a gap year maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be great to just build maturity and also, like you said, maybe work a job, save up some money, something like that.
Travel.
Also just figure yourself out more. What 18-year-old really is equipped to make a 4-year commitment to something that could potentially cost them $100,000 to $200,000, right? That's a huge commitment.
Yeah, that is.
Right? That's a lot to ask of an 18-year-old kid, 17-year-old kid, you know? So I think if more time was given to mature or more options were presented, it might be better. But that's, again, a whole nother big complex issue.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
What you asked me this earlier, but I want to ask you too. What do you think you're gonna impress upon your future children someday about college? Where do you see the future of it going? Is it beneficial? Is it not? What do you want to teach them?
I really don't know. I'm kind of nervous about that because again, I know how I grew up. I'm just very studious and nobody ever my parents never had to threaten me or make sure you study. I would come home and be like, bro, I got a freaking B-. We about to go back and kill it next time. That was me. So what if my kids don't come out like that? As motivated and ambitious? I'm gonna be like, you're a fucking bum. Bro. I'm kind of nervous about that. Hopefully they enjoy learning and stuff, but we'll see.
That's funny. You're 100% going to get just a lazy bum.
I know. I'm going to be so sad. I'm no, I'm going to still love them. But yeah, I don't know. I will say, some people will ask me, do you want your kids to go to the academy too? Because that's a thing. My parents went to the academy. My mom went to the academy. But I don't know. I'm not going to force them. I don't ever want to force them to do something. Because again, my parents never forced me to do anything. But at the same time, I will try to plant little seeds in their mind to just get them thinking. Not to necessarily make a certain decision, but just to be hey, you know what I mean? Because again, they might not have the opportunity to take that gap year off after high school and to think about what they want to do. But maybe if I start talking to them from a young age about college or about different trade school, you know what I mean, ROTC Academy, stuff like that. I just want to get their minds thinking. And that way, when the decision comes, it's not their first time fuck, I'm a sophomore in high school. Oh shoot. Right. So hopefully that would help, but we'll see.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. I'm going to be checking in with you 15 years from now. How are the kids?
How the babies doing?
Oh, she dropped out?
Uh-oh.
That's not
that's
good.
The other thing. I changed my major 3 times in college. So.
But I feel like that's normal.
It is. That's my point, though, is what 18-year-old is committed and mature enough to know what the hell they want to do.
Yeah. A lot of my friends and stuff, they did 5 years. I did 5 years, but
I did 4.5. Yeah.
Yeah. People just...
It's so normal.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we're playing footsie. It's all good.
Stop. But yeah, I don't know. But y'all let us know what your experiences were and how you made that decision and did you enjoy it? Do you regret it? Would you go back and change it? Because I feel like everybody kind of has these thoughts, but people don't really
Yeah.
talk about it. They just go to college, they just check the box, and now they're in debt, and they're just like, this is fine.
And if you also didn't go to college and you're out there, like, tell us why you didn't go. Tell us, like, if you wish you would have, how you feel about
Yeah.
it, what your thoughts are, and
Yeah.
what you're going to impress upon, your future generations, if you have any.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other things on this? I mean, we could talk about this forever.
I know, right?
Yeah, we're running out of time, though. Any
you have
other
anything-
safe grounds?
From Mike's Minutes or no?
I don't think we have time for Mike's
Okay,
Minutes.
never mind. It's supposed to be a minute, but
Yeah, but
No, I'm just kidding.
we're already at the mark.
We're cutting it close.
It's all good. Save it
that's
for next
fine.
time. Maybe we'll do
Yeah.
another short episode and
I was just
surprise
about to
y'all.
say that. Did y'all like the short episode? Let us know about that too.
Yeah.
I just be trying to get y'all to talk to us because I be bored. Because I ain't got no friends. Remember?
Mo ain't got no friends.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
kidding. I'm
Anyway.
a friend. She has one friend.
Yay!
And Millie, our little puppy.
Yay! Yeah.
Not our little puppy. We do not have a child puppy together.
yeah.
My roommate has a puppy.
Yes. I'll show you a picture later.
Yeah. We're auntie and uncle to the
Yes. Uncle Mo and Auntie Mike. Auntie Mo and Uncle Mike. I always do that. All right. It's time to wrap up this
puppy.
episode.
All right, everybody.
Thanks,
Follow
y'all.
us on Instagram and TikTok at mike.mo.show and YouTube at The Mike and Mo Show. Like, subscribe, follow, all of the good things, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yes. Bye.
Much love.